Good morning, and thank you so much for tuning into your Friday edition of Wasatch Weekends. Today is May 10th, so the countdown to Mother's Day is on. I'm your host, Maddie Evans, and we've got a great show in store for you. If you're looking for something wonderful to do this weekend, well then, Katie Wang with the Park City Film Series is going to give us some great information on some movie that you could maybe go enjoy over the course of this weekend. Did you know that today is National Shrimp Day, though? So Tracy Miller is going to introduce you to a fabulous recipe that you're going to want to make at home. Let's take a look at that local weather forecast right now. Are you looking for something to do this weekend? Well then, Katie Wang has got you covered with the Park City Film Series. Not only can you see a great movie, but you can also enjoy their expansive popcorn bar. So let's hear what she has to say.
Now, welcome back to our show. If you're looking for weekend entertainment, as you know, Park City Film brings such incredible films to the community and shares not only things that you see on the big screen, but things that are creative works of independent artists as well. Joining me today is Katie Wang. Katie, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you here. Now, what is happening this weekend? Some great films.
Well, we've got two things going on actually, so kind of an exciting weekend for us. Lots going on. But our weekend feature film is a film from North Macedonia called Housekeeping for Beginners, and this film won the Queer Lion Award at the Cannes Film Festival, and is just one of those films that has so many different layers to it. It's kind of hard to explain. But at its essence, it's really about family and kind of those bonds that connect us, and not just the ones that we inherit, but those that we create, and just how diverse and complex and interesting families can be. And sometimes when we're put in situations like they are in the film, where you have a lesbian couple that has children together, and one of the biological mother passes away, and you find this out in the trailer, so it's not a big spoiler. But she asks her, she asks her partner, she's their wife, she said, "Can please take care of our children?" Which of course she says yes. But in North Macedonia, and this is kind of what's interesting, as a lesbian, you can't, be the parent. She couldn't be the parent of the children, so she has to kind of create a family around her with the community that she's in, so that the children can have the life that both of the mothers had hoped for them, right? That they can be recognized by society, that they can be part of the white class, not the Roma class, which is again kind of another complexity of North Macedonia culture. But so kind of all of these different layers of kind of belonging and creating that space for yourself and the people that help you along the way. And it's just such a beautifully articulated film that it's funny, it's poignant, it's like all of those high notes that one hopes for in a international film, but certainly in an independent film.
That's wonderful. Now, is there an age recommendation that you would say for this film, or can anybody come see it that you would say would be able to understand it?
I think kind of, PG, if you had to put a rating, it's not a rated film, but I mean, it's certainly up to, I think, parents in terms of what they conversations that they will have to have with their children afterward, if these are not themes that they have been exposed to before. I think most of our films, particularly our international films, are not rated, but what's the beauty of them is that it does elicit all of these dialogues of just what does it mean to belong, and looking at other cultures as compared to our own and having those conversations. So I mean, I take my kids to everything. And they're 12 and 16. So yeah, but it's, I think, one of those things, take a look at the trailer. I think you will definitely see what the film is about. And if, bring your family if that's something you're comfortable with. But, certainly our regular audience, it's a fantastic film that I know they will appreciate.
Well, that's also a thing that I appreciate about Park City Film is that you do bring such unique films to the audience and to the community to really foster and encourage conversation for not just, before the film, but then also afterwards. So I love that. So what else is happening?
Well, so before we leave housekeeping
Sure.
for beginners, and I always hesitate to put ratings on things. So
Sure. No, I totally understand
it's always so
that.
funny because you don't know, like, when you think about the films from the 80s that were PG, like the Goonies, and then you watch them now and you're like, ooh, it's a little more mature now than it was then. So,
It's always a
so
sliding
caveat
scale,
of,
right?
yeah. So Friday and Saturday at 7, and then again Sunday at 6, and you can get tickets in advance at parkcityfilm.org, or we sell tickets at the box office an hour before the posted showtime. So that's our evening film. And then on Saturday, and this is definitely a family-oriented film, we have our Family Film Fest series, and this is a partnership we have with the Park City Library. And over the years, we've kind of tried different iterations of matinee screenings. And so we had books to movies, and then we had a foreign language program with French and Spanish language films to support our dual language immersion programs. We did stuff over the holidays. So it's kind of emerged. And now what we've gotten to is the Family Film Fest series. And these are films that are curated from all over the world, but that are appropriate for film lovers of all ages. So the film we're showing this weekend is called Belle and Sebastian. It's actually a French story, but we're showing it in English, so it'll be dubbed. But it's a series of books and movies that were based on the books. And it's about a young boy and his giant sheepdog and their adventures in the French Alps. And it's set during World War II when the Nazis were occupying France. And so they're fighting the Nazis and helping, rescue the resistance fighters and the Jewish people that are in the community. And so it's kind of got all of these notes of just action and adventure and, kind of being a part of your community and being an upstander. And so it's just a beautiful film. And we have shown it in French previously to packed audiences. So we know kids will like it and their family members, but it'll be interesting to show it in English this time. So it'll be accessible to even that many more people. So signups are going well. It is a free program. There will be free popcorn. It's on Saturday at 4 o'clock. So you're welcome to register in advance if you like, but certainly just feel free to show up and bring your friends and family members, get some free popcorn and enjoy a great film on the big screen. It's really a fun adventure that they go on.
Oh, that sounds like a blast. And also, again, another film that will encourage conversation around history and action and adventure. So love the selections that you picked, Katie. Now, do we have anything exciting that we should be looking forward to as we are moving into the summer months?
Yes, so we are just starting off the marketing for our Studio Ghibli Film Fest. So if you are a fan of Japanese anime, Studio Ghibli is probably the most iconic film distributor, film creator of anime in the world. And Hayao Miyazaki at its helm is just the auteur of that medium. So what we're doing is we've programmed 7 films over the course of the summer. And these are films from different parts of Miyazaki's career. So starting with Kiki's Delivery Service, which folks might be familiar with because it's gotten somewhat popular in American culture, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Winds, Spirited Away, which won the Academy Award. And so we'll show different points of his career, kind of how his style has evolved, and really just the influence that he's had on the art of anime and on animation in general. I think in this country, people think, oh, animation, it's for kids. Well, absolutely not. Certainly outside of the United States, animation is the realm of adults and film lovers of all ages. And it's so complex. And there's so much more you can do with your imagination if you can animate it versus using something like CGI, which, you can always kind of tell that it's not quite real. With animation, it's like, the limits are boundless. So really exciting to have that film series coming to our screen this summer. We will have some speakers from all over the country that will come in and talk about the films and their impact on culture and history and just kind of how they fit in that. So giving it a little bit more context. So something to look forward to. It's up on our website, parkcityfilm.org. You can check out all of the screenings, get tickets if you'd like. And then as we start rolling out our marketing, we'll have more information about the speakers and kind of how it all ties together. But we're looking forward to that. And then we'll also have some free pop-up screenings on the eastern side of Summit County that we're just starting to add to our website now as well.
Wonderful. Well, Katie, we appreciate all that you're doing and to bring the community together and to further expand our minds and our imagination. So thanks for the work that you do over at Park City Film.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Now stay tuned. We'll be back with more on our show right after this quick break.
Since we are celebrating National Shrimp Day today, there's no better way to do so than making a new recipe. We're going to step into the kitchen with Tracy Miller from Colorful Cooking, who always has the best recipes that are healthy and delicious. So let's see how she's going to prepare some shrimp.
Welcome back to Colorful Cooking with Tracy Miller. I am Tracy. Thanks for joining us here today. We're talking all about shrimp, how healthy and how easy it is to cook. So I have a farm shrimp, and I have a wild caught shrimp. So when you're getting ready to cook it, you kind of want to pat it dry. People are always amazed when I tell them this, but like even if I have a piece of fish or something, I will just gently squeeze it after it thaws out when it's frozen to get some of that excess water. Because if you're going to put it in your pan and you're going to try to get a sear on it, then you're not going to get rid of that excess water. It's going to kind of fill up in your pan and boil your shrimp, which is not what we are after. So just pat it dry a little bit with a paper towel, real gently too. You don't want to like manhandle those little tiny crustaceans. It's not going to taste as good. So real easy to peel. You just pull the tail off, flip it over, take the legs, and they should come off nice and easy. When you're working with the farmed fish, a lot of times they just have the tails on there, so you just pull those off really quickly. So season it generously with salt and pepper, and then a nice little ingredient that you can put on there, just a tiny, tiny bit of sugar. Why do we do that? It's just going to bring out the natural sweetness of the shrimp. And when we put it in the pan, it's going to help to caramelize a little. And literally, shrimp take about 5 minutes to cook. These are already pink shrimp, so we're not going to see them change a color, but a lot of times when they're a grayish color when they start, they just turn pink right away. So here we are. We're going to have those cook. I do have my salad started. This salad has cucumbers, sliced cucumbers, and peaches. If it's a really fresh peach, all you do is take a cut and go right around that. This is called the stone fruit. The seed is in the middle, and you should be able to turn it and open it up like that. That is the easiest way and the nicest way to open up a fresh peach. A lot of times the juice will be squeezing all over you, but not today because, like I said, it's not quite as ripe as it should be. All right, we're just gonna slice these up really thin. Can you hear that shrimp cooking? It smells good already. Just a little bit of simple seasoning. I have my cucumbers, so I'm just gonna put my peaches down. And as the shrimp are starting to cook, you'll see that their tails are turning a little bit, and then you just want to flip them over. This is literally going to take about 1 more minute. And the key to cooking any seafood and shrimp is don't overcook it. So right about this point, I'm actually just going to turn the heat off and let them cook that side right now real easily. So turn the heat off. They're already kind of firm to the touch. They've got a little caramelization. They're looking good. And now let's make a vinaigrette. We're gonna go a little bit of olive oil, equal parts olive oil, orange juice. Orange juice is one of my favorite ingredients when I am making vinaigrettes because it's low in calorie, it gives it that nice flavor, and it's juicy and has that citrus. So you can use that quite often. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of cinnamon. I'm actually gonna get this one out right now because I need a spoon for cinnamon because if you overdo it, you're gonna be in trouble. So we're gonna use about a teaspoon of cinnamon and almost a teaspoon of cumin. We're gonna go a little bit less on the cumin because it's so strong. We're gonna do those two right in there. And when you're working with dried herbs like this, you really want to let them sit in the juices for a little bit. So you wanna make this and then let it sit. Not for a long time, but you do wanna let it sit for a little bit. See, now shake it up. Okay, it's an interesting color. And that cinnamon is going to be dry right now. So the longer we let it sit right here, and I don't mean like days or anything like that. I mean, you can just let it sit for like a half hour or so. The longer we let it sit, the better it's going to taste. So let me get this out of the way and bring our salad in. The shrimp is looking good. I am going to plate this up and put our vinaigrette on. When we come back, we'll show you the finished product here, and then we'll get going with our farmed shrimp and make a delicious, creamy shrimp salad. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Colorful Cooking with Tracy Miller. I am Tracy. Thanks for joining us here today. We're talking all about shrimp, how healthy and how easy it is to cook. We are just going to cut these into little pieces. Actually, a lot of times when I'm making this shrimp salad, I will put it in my food processor, but I didn't want to lug the food processor in here today. So we're just going to slice this shrimp up kind of nice and easy. If you put it in a little row, put them all together. My whole family's from Florida, so they actually have shrimp nets like right outside on their docks, and we eat the freshest shrimp you can possibly imagine. Mayport shrimp in Florida is delicious. Really, if you can get any shrimp from the Texas, the Gulf of Mexico, or Florida, you're going to be in pretty good shape with that flavor. And again, just don't overcook it, and you'll be tasting it and enjoying it. Okay, so here we go. We have our shrimp cut up into small pieces for the shrimp salad. And this one, sorry, I'm gonna add a few calories to this because it's gonna be nice and creamy. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a mixture of sour cream and mayonnaise. Now, I'm a huge mayonnaise fan. I love eggs, I love mayonnaise, but mayonnaise alone sometimes when you're making a salad like that, it's just a little too strong. So I like to mix mine with a little bit of sour cream. I actually do a half and half, 50% sour cream, 50% mayonnaise. Tons of salt and pepper. Either use dill or use tarragon, and if you're ever cooking lobster, tarragon is really, really good. It has all these little like leaves like this, and all you do is pull the leaves right off of the stems, and then we're gonna chop them up. It's super easy, super fragrant, and it kind of has like a licorice type of flavor to it. So we're just gonna take those right off. Actually, I just do it that way. Take them off that way. You can really put any herbs you want in here. If you would prefer, you know, parsley or something like that, you can do that. Really making something that turns out to be in your recipe repertoire all the time. All right, super simple. Cut up cooked shrimp. We have tarragon, salt and pepper, mayonnaise, and sour cream. We're just gonna kind of fold it all together and make ourselves this nice creamy salad. This is so good. I eat this just by itself, and I do a lot of this in like little individual cups, and people love it. And you can either eat it by itself, you can eat it on a salad, you can eat it with crackers or crudité if you wanted to, or you can put it in a wrap and take it out on a picnic. One of the things though about wrapping up creamy dishes, there's a little trick, especially if you want to take it out on your picnic. So right now, we're just gonna put it on our bed of lettuce. This would be a nice little light lunch for you, packed with protein and vitamins and minerals, nice and light and delicious with a little bit of creaminess. I'm gonna put a little more salt and pepper right on there, especially pepper. And then when we return, I will show you how to wrap that in a tortilla. So if you want a sandwich, if you're going on a hike or something, hitting the lake or the river, we're gonna wrap that. I'm gonna give you a few tips on how to make those wraps still taste good and not get too soggy if you're going on a picnic. Welcome back to Colorful Cooking. I'm Tracy Miller. Thanks for joining us here today. We are talking about shrimp, and we just made a shrimp salad with a creamy mayonnaise sour cream base, and we used tarragon today, which is actually delicious. I was crying a little bit because I didn't have the dill that I usually like to use with my shrimp salad. Have to compromise when you're using fresh ingredients, and that tarragon, it tastes really good. So start with some lettuce, and make sure your lettuce is dry. Like I've been telling you, kind of all day here, is dry things off, because all of that moisture is going to make your wrap mushy, and it's going to make your shrimp boil when you're putting it in the pan. So I have the shrimp salad here. I'm just going to put that down right on top, and I'm going to take a little bit of the mayonnaise base and kind of make like a little bit of glue to seal it closed. I love making wraps. I don't know why, I just really like rolling things. So take it like that. Pull it all out your way, move your fingers around so that you know that like you're gonna get a good bite on every sandwich, and then just roll that baby up. That glue right there is gonna seal it closed. And then I like to cut it in half. And when I'm making wraps and I'm getting ready to go on a picnic, or usually I'm getting ready to cater or go on a gig or something like that, what I do is I just put the wrap in the fridge uncovered until I'm ready to wrap it up. Because if you wrap it up in cellophane, what's gonna happen is it's gonna get all mushy. And since we have a creamy base, you want some mayonnaise on your sandwich, when you're making wraps, you wanna have a layer. You wanna have that lettuce layer to protect the mayonnaise on the inside and the wrap. Seems simple, but you can really kind of make a mushy sandwich if you're having it wrapped up for a little while. So we've got the 2 salads today. For the shrimp salad with peaches and cucumbers, and that's in a cumin cinnamon vinaigrette. And then we will also have the recipe here for you with the shrimp salad, which I'm going to say you're probably going to like a lot. Thanks for joining me here on Colorful Cooking today. Eat shrimp. It's low in calories, high in protein, and really good for you.
We want to thank you so much for tuning into your Friday edition of Wasatch Weekends. We love getting to be here every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to bring you great community information, as well as maybe inspire you to make a new dish at home. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow for your Saturday edition. I've been your host, Maddie Evans, and we'll see you then.